Hey everybody, we are live. This is Dorothy Kuhn, the Inspiring Leaders Mentor. Happy to be back with you. Maya Angelou said the idea is to write it and say it so people hear it through their brain and it goes straight into the heart. That's what today's hot tip is all about. Because leading is about just two things. It's getting people to see the world your way and getting them to act. So you can tell you're doing this when they're engaged, when they're self-motivated, when they're making progress, when they know how to ask questions, they feel safe asking questions and making progress a piece at a time toward a goal that everybody is in alignment with. And when this is true, you know you've used the structure of honorable persuasion. So what is that? And this is for you, particularly if you come from a more analytical background where you tend to think that facts and figures and things like that are really the things that motivate people. But as you may have remembered from previous brief trainings and tips, something else really does motivate people, and this is a big part of it. But first, I just want to say it's great to be back. I had a virus. I have vanquished that virus. Oh, it was a doozy. And of course, there was a bit to catch up on after that. Wow. So good to be back and ready for greatness again. So in honor of this, I'm going to give you a bonus secret word for sticking it with me to the end of this training, and jot it down now, and I'll give you a gift at the end so that you have got the reward for sticking with me through the end of this brief training. Here's the word. It is greatness. So no matter where you are, just jot it down now and you'll have something cool at the end. Greatness, that's our word. And if you're watching this on the replay, good for you, and I'll still be looking for it, so go ahead and jot it down whenever you see it. So you know how it feels when those you are leading are on fire, or when you're being led by somebody and the whole team is just on fire to create it. They know what they're achieving. They know what to do together. They know how, they get it, and they know how to play well together and have fun along the way. That is that lovely combination of love and play and getting it done and just total badassery. It's great. So you are wondering, since I've teed you up for it, how do I set them up for this? This is a big part of leadership and really so much fun. So there are three parts we're going to cover today. So let me ask you this. Do you know, for your space where you operate professionally, in your entrepreneurial space, or in leading some area of your community, do you know what your top values are? We're talking big picture stuff here, and what your team is going for, and how to express that in a way that really engages them, just gets them by the lapels, up front and close. So you'll know when you've got it, because it'll be a big idea, and when you talk about it, it'll just give them that sense of soaring. It'll be like the most famous speeches that you may know about. It'll be like Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech, or like President Kennedy's Ask not what you can do for what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. These kinds of soaring big ideas frame the idea. They frame the work to be done. They frame the challenge ahead for your listeners, for your followers. And they really put them in a place where they can kind of get it and want it. Big ideas speak to the part of the brain. Hello, thanks for joining. Big ideas speak to the part of the brain that makes decisions. And you want to speak to that part of the brain. You want that part of the brain to be able to say, yes, this is for me, or no, this isn't for me. And that is the simplest and most effective way to honor people, by giving them the opportunity in a busy world to make a clean decision quickly. So now this, your inspiring opening, avoids facts and figures. Facts and figures and logic, as we've discussed before, mathematics, pros and cons, those are the things that are processed up here in the neocortex, the part of the brain that we go to school for, and that part of the brain makes exactly 0 decisions. So you don't want to open with a place where you're sending somebody to a place in their brain where they cannot make a decision. It's not capable, that part of the brain, of making a decision. Decisions are made in the part of the brain that are connected to desire and want and, am I going to make it through the day and be safe and fed by the end of the day? Those kinds of social and existential things are the things that we as humans are physically built and wired to make decisions on. Then we check in. After we've made that preliminary decision, we will check in with our brains. And some of us check in with our brains more than others. I really encourage checking in with your brain to make sure that you've made a well-informed decision. But, that decision of whether you want it or not is the first decision that you honor your listeners, your followers, the people who work for you, they work with you. That's what you inspire them with first. Do they want it? And then you must have a close. This is part 3. After you've opened with a big idea, after you've described that just a little bit and added in just a little bit of facts and figures, which is part 2, you might think of facts and figures like just a touch of salt on the food. You don't want too much of that stuff. It's bad for you. But a little bit is just fine. And the close is your call to action, what you need them to do. Professionally, in your entrepreneurial journey, as a community leader, whatever it is that is your space that you like to play in, make sure that you provide a clean call to action so that they know specifically what they need to do and when it needs to be done by, and check in with them that they've got everything they need to be able to deliver that on time. Because, people will give you whatever they can as long as they've got what it takes to give it to you. If something important is missing, they can't give it to you. So make sure they have it. Ask them, check in. And of course, you'll want to think about that call to action, that ask, in a way that lets you consider that and make sure that step 2 supports that, and step 1, how you framed it up, supports that too. So this is, I'm going to do a call back to Maya Angelou from the top of this short training. Remember, she said the idea is to write it and say it so that it goes through the brain and lands in the heart. And that's really where you want the big idea to land. So they know they want it, all their radar is up, and they're really attending and focused on you because it's so juicy and wonderful. So I want to, if you've stayed here through to the end, I want to make sure that you put the secret word down below. I'll give you a great gift. And regardless of whether you're here live or on the replay, a big part of that gift is to be able to see where you are on your entrepreneurial, your professional journey, your journey in leading your community. So where you are, what you're really good at, and what are the things that you need to maybe to work on. You want to be clear on that. You don't want to be fuzzy on those things. These are skills and abilities and the kinds of leadership things that really make for wonderful. So go to inspiringleadersquiz.com to be able to get the value of that awareness of where you're strong and what things may be holding you back. So inspiringleadersquiz.com is the site to be able to take that quiz. It's free. There are no strings attached. And I just want to have this as a gift to you for hanging with me here to the end. So inspiringleadersquiz.com, this is Dorothy Kuhn, your Inspiring Leaders mentor, wishing you a fabulous day. Make it inspiring with a big idea. Bye for now.